back to Soundwave 2013. Here we are in Melbourne, Australia. We have the boys from Killswitch Engage. How are we?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Doing just fine.
Just want to start straight off talking about the new album. Tell us a little bit about the upcoming record. It's called Disarm the Descent, obviously. What can we expect in terms of style or lyrical content, especially now that Jesse's back in the band?
It's a fast record. Yeah. Lots of fast songs. Yeah. Lyrical stuff. It's it's Jesse. Yeah. Good mixture of I don't really know how to put it.
Yeah.
Political and internal things.
Is it taking the current events on again?
I guess a little, somewhat, but I think there's a good deal of it that deals with stuff in his life. I think. Yeah. So I mean, in general, I think the record sounds like us, but maybe a refreshed version. I'm not really sure.
Now, obviously, this is Jesse's first record back since Alive or Just Breathing. Yep. Many people look at that record and they think of it. They define it as a genre-defining record for what it was at the time and everything like that. And it's still back and it's held up very well. Given this is Jesse's first record back with the band since then, has there been any expectations to kind of compete against that or anything like this?
I don't really think so. Not from us. I think we just were really excited to make another record, and we hadn't done a whole lot of touring in a while, so we were all just really energized. And when everything came together, and then when he came back in the band, it was just really good feelings and a lot of excitement about it.
How was it? And just touching on that, I mean, how was it working together? How was it getting back together again and working after, what was it, something like 12 years? Was there a teething or filling up period, or was it straight back into it, business as usual? How was it just getting back, getting the nucleus of the band back together again?
It kind of was business as usual, really. It was a really easy change. I mean, Jesse came back and it just felt right. And we tried out a lot of great people, too, and when we were looking for a new singer, and he came, he didn't try to sound like Howard. He just like Howard didn't try to sound like him back in the day, and that's what we liked about him. So he came and did his thing, and it just worked, and we're all good friends, so easy enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you just touched on the Howard thing now, but what was the driving factor behind getting Jesse back into the band? Was it just solely because Howard was had moved on and everything like that, left the band, you needed a replacement? How did it all happen? I mean, when all that happened with Howard leaving band, was Jesse the first person you thought of, or did you reach out to him? Did he reach out to you guys? Yeah, or no, I mean, there was a press release I went around that said, did Jesse read that and just say, okay, hey, I'm putting my hand up for this?
We had some people on deck that wanted to try out, and so we had tryouts set up, but I think Jesse contacted us, right?
Yeah, I think he did. I think we kind of kicked around the idea of maybe doing a tour where we played Alive or Just Breathing with him singing, and we had been in touch with him anyway. Everyone was, Adam and him are still real close, especially with Time's a Great Thing and with you being on that also, so, I mean, we were all familiar with him and the whole situation, but for whatever reason it just turned into maybe it would be fun to do a tour, to him being I really want to be back in the band, and then just kind of went from there.
Okay, so it was more of an organic approach rather than a really structured, hey, we need there's a vacancy, we want you to come back in. It was just right place, right time, and all the pieces have fallen back into place where we're going to give this a second shot.
I mean, at first I didn't even really think, we thought he would be interested, so we weren't really thinking about it, but then once we started talking to him about it, or just about anything in general, it just seemed, this is definitely the way it's going to
go. Just touching back on the album, Disarm the Descent, it was mixed by Andy Sneap. Andy's got for years and years now, he's become one of the go-to producers and mixers, and probably one of the best in the industry at doing it. How was it like working with him? I mean, what does he bring to the table that someone else may not necessarily bring to the table?
I think Andy's mixes have a lot of clarity and a lot of separation. I think he's probably the best at that of anybody out there. And there's a lot of stuff going on the record, a lot of textures and things, and he's good at making things sound clean and tight.
Yeah, because with a band like Killswitch Engage, I mean, there is a lot going on in there. So you'd want to be able to hear every single thing, which Andy's not really known for his muddy production, which is And what's it like in the studio though? Is he like a perfectionist? Is he always over your shoulder or anything like this?
We didn't really work with Andy much. We just sent him the tracks after, and he just mixed it. So we did all the production stuff was with Adam, and Andy was the mix engineer. So he just did his thing over on his own and
email us mixes. And we said, "Yep, we like this, we don't like that," and then he tweak it, and then it'll be good.
We just touched on Adam, but the thing is, members of the band, you're also involved in Times of Grace on the offside of it and everything like that. How do you separate Times of Grace to something like Killswitch Engage? I mean, obviously they're two completely separate beasts, even in terms of style, everything like that. How do you know when to dedicate enough time on one? How do you know when to dedicate time to one, time to the other? I mean, do you schedule your recording cycles and touring cycles around what the other band's doing at any given time?
I think Times of Grace did some touring just because Killswitch wasn't doing anything for quite a while. We had like a year and a half off. We weren't doing much, so in the meantime, Jesse and Adam decided that was a good time to strike with that, and invited me to play some guitars with those guys. So that was fun. That's kind of their thing, I was psyched to be part of it. But I'm thinking, maybe once Killswitch gets this record out and put in some good time touring, maybe those guys will want to revisit that. I know Jesse's mentioned he wants to do something with it again down the road, but
now Killswitch has been out to Australia a few times now, but this is the first time we're seeing you guys with Jesse. I think the first time you were here, Jesse had already left the band. What's the reception been like so far?
Terrific, just terrific. There's only really been 2 shows. Seems like we've been here forever, and we've only had 2 shows.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been great. A lot of kids, a lot of singing along, a lot of good feeling. So.
Because one of the main themes coming out of just reading reviews from other shows and everything like this, I mean, you guys are absolutely killing it up there on live, and it looks like you're actually enjoying playing all these shows, everything like that. Did you have any expectations of the Australian crowd and the reception before you came out here?
I didn't. I mean, it's just been, every time we've come here before, it's been a lot of fun, so I just figured it'd be a lot of fun again. That's pretty much it. I hoped it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Australians always down for a bit of fun.
Yeah.
What are your plans for 2013 beyond the release of the album? Can we expect you guys to come out here and do more of a headlining set?
I think that's kind of part of the plan, maybe later in the year, early 2014. I mean, we have some stuff, we're going to Europe for a bit, doing some work in the States, just a little bit of festival work over the summer, and then, we'll just take it from there. I think that's part of the reason we didn't do any of the Soundwave shows, just wanted to come back and do some club stuff on our own later on, once the record's out. So.
Now this will be the 6th record, the 6th Killswitch record. The thing is, all the other records have been very strong. You're one of probably the more consistent bands around. How do you pick your set lists? I mean, do you focus mostly on all your new material, or are there some songs that you've got to play, otherwise you're not going to leave the hall alive? How do you go about piecing that together? And another thing, second part to that is, how do you piece something for Soundwave together as opposed to your headlining show?
Yeah, the first thing we do is see how much time we have, and like for this we have 40 minutes, so we plug in some of the songs that are, I guess, set staples or whatever, because we like the show to be a lot of fun, and I think we know at this point what songs people really want to hear, so we kind of plug those in, and then we see how much time we have left. This tour, since we have the new record coming out and we have our video that just came out, we're playing that song, and then we just kind of fill in the blanks from there, and we can tell kind of what songs go well and what songs are good festival songs, what songs work better in a club and what songs are better for maybe a big crowd where only half the people have ever really heard of you and other people are just kind of watching.
So would you say you'd have to work harder to win over a crowd at Soundwave than what you would at a normal show?
Well, yeah, I mean, a normal show, especially if it's a headline show, everybody there wants to see us and likes us already. So, but stuff like this, there's tons of people that might not know anything about you. So, I think in general, though, we just kind of do our thing either way and just go out there and have fun and hope that it shows through.
The thing with Soundwave is, you just mentioned earlier that you aren't doing really side shows on this run or anything like this. What have you been doing in your downtime?
Drinking.
Drinking? Yeah, we hate that in Australia. How dare you do that?
Awful, right? It's awful. Nobody likes drinking here.
What do you make of the Australian beers?
I like a few of them. I really like Australian wines, though. Okay. I'm kind of a wine dude. But we were at that Little Creatures pub last night. The beers are fantastic. Really, really good.
Those are probably my favorite ones here.
Oh, because I think the Adelaide Soundwave, is that happening tomorrow or something like that, or is it? Yeah, Adelaide's like one of the prime wine regions in Australia, so you might be able to hit up a couple of wineries or something while you're out there.
Awesome, man.
Just trying to think, what's been the highlight of your Soundwave so far? no, on stage, off stage, whatever. I mean, what have you enjoyed about this run particularly?
A highlight, huh?
It's weird 'cause I feel like we've been here for 10 days. We've only played 2 shows. So it's kind of like
A lot of drinking time in between.
Exactly. The shows have probably been the highlight for me. They were a lot of fun. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Now out on Soundwave this year, we've got like really wide. Yeah, watch it; it'll kill you eventually. Yeah, it's one of those Australian flies. It'll be about 10 times the size before you know it. Soundwave this year's got like a really wide cross section of bands from all different kind of genres, everything like that. Anyone in particular looking to pretty much check out and watch, or that you haven't had a chance to yet?
I've been really wanting to see Perfect Circle, but sometimes it's tough because we play at the same time. Yeah, so at some point I'm gonna try to see if I can catch the end of their set at least.
I'd like to check Anthrax out too, but I've missed them every day so far.
Anthrax is playing really early in Soundwave. Now, I heard before as soon as they played, they had to take off, and I think they finished at 1 o'clock and had to be on a flight at 2 or something like that. So a lot of people happened to come later and see them and missing out. Let's go and say now, we're going to start getting the wind up pretty soon. Is there anything else you want to say to the viewers over at Metal Obsession?
I guess to everybody who stuck with us through all the changes throughout the years, thanks, and check out the new record.
Yeah, I always like to say thanks. It's really overwhelming how many people have been a fan of the band for so many years, so it feels really good.
One thing I was going to ask just to wrap up is with the new record coming out, The Descent, is overall, would you go back and change anything on it, or are you happy how it turned out?
I'm pretty psyched on it, actually. I think everybody's pretty happy. Yeah. Had a good time doing it, and it's kind of. I think you can kind of hear that. I think when you listen to it, it sounds like a bunch of guys going for it. I don't mean that to sound weird or anything.
Bunch of guys going for it, playing with their instruments would have made it even more weird. Well, look, thanks a lot for taking the time to come out and speak to us today. Hopefully you have a great Soundwave and a great rest of your tour in Australia, and hopefully we'll see you guys back here very soon on your own headlining jaunt.
Thanks so much, man.
Thanks for having us.